don't care about any of the other women pursuing their dreams at Mercury Pro Wrestling. I sure don't care about any of the Lockettes in NRW. All I care about is Aligato. Titus, who do you think you are? Who are you to say that women's wrestling is irrelevant? Have you even stepped foot in a ring besides to yap your mouth like you're good at? You know what? I don't even like Nikita, but I'm for sure gonna make sure she wins that match at Milestone.
I just had to work with my limo service to make money.
And semi-pro football at the time.
I've been a softball player, tennis player.
I work at Walmart. I'm a customer service manager.
Fought everywhere except the UFC.
2 years ago, I was into the local music scene. Really digging that. I was helping booking that and promoting that kind of shows.
I was a nanny for a school year.
I was a gymnast for 12 years.
I'm in the United States Air Force active duty.
I currently work for Veteran Affairs out in Golden.
Yo, everybody, you know me. You know I'm Vince Russo, but what you don't know is I am here with Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. I am the talent development coach.
Once you pass the tryout and you decide to join the school, you're a white shirt. Once you show enough proficiency to wrestle on the TV show, you're promoted to green. And then once you're green, you log a certain amount of classes and show enough proficiency then to get up to blue, then red, then purple and gold. So those are the kind, and then all coaches are in black. So,
do you want to focus on like character development right off the bat? Do you want to kind of get to know these guys and see what
This is just my suggestion. Mm-hmm. This is the suggestion. You guys know where you're going for the big show,
right?
Right. You want that big show to be the best it could possibly be,
right?
Right. I would probably work with those names.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I mean. If because basically by this being the big show and you guys putting them on the big show, you guys I think are more or less saying this are the best guys on the roster. So I mean, if you want to really pay off with that show and want that show to be a type of a springboard, I would like make sure that those guys are the absolute.
Sure.
But again, bro, that's just a suggestion. If you see it another way.
Well, I think where we're going, like whatever you think is best. But like if you want always individuals, if we want to do okay, let's get a few people in here at a time. Group stuff, any exercises or things that you have done in the past that you think works well. Like we're open to all of it.
Yeah.
We don't have like a set like we have to teach promo class this way one at a time.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
It can be, Nikita the other day came in and did a bunch of exercises, various things with the whole group where they played off each other, so we can do stuff like that. As far as getting to know them, I liked what you said in the seminar you did before about I'm going to get to know who you are, so then we can find out kind of where you're going versus going, well, you're doing this, you're doing that. So whatever you think is best for accomplishing that, I mean, I'm wide open to it.
Is the plan for you to come out of that big pay-per-view still as the champion?
No, I'm
Sammy's taking it and carrying that.
So then you probably really want to build him in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, till July 30th.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So does he know he's going over?
Yeah, I think so.
So then, is he more or less the guy after that?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you should focus then right now, I think.
Okay.
You have more guys that look like wrestlers than I see on WWE. I mean, that your guys look like wrestlers. I mean, I've been to so many indie shows, and you guys know training facilities where, bro, you can walk in the door 100 pounds. They're going to take your money and train you how to be a wrestler, even though they know it's never going to happen. So you guys got real impressive looking guys.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect example. Sammy looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, but me watching the show for the first time, I could not tell you what Sammy's Six Guns means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the character is. I don't know what the gimmick is. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, these guys don't know either. Now, is this the guy you said was at NXT?
Yeah, he was there for a little over 2 years.
Is he the kind of guy that's kind of open for suggestion, or is he pretty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very.
Yeah,
open.
I think so.
He's very easy to work with. He would come to our shows and help set the ring up and do things. And he looked great, but I wouldn't book him because he didn't have a lot of training and he wasn't ready. And he really, really wanted to be an NRW wrestler. And then WWE signed him. So then he left to go be in NXT, or I think it was still FCW when he got signed. But he went, was under contract there for a couple of years. Then he came back, obviously with 2 years of training there, and really liked what we were doing, so he jumped in 100%.
Do people, when you run these shows, do they know what your role is?
The talent?
No, not the talent. When you run a show and you're a worker on the show, do they know your...
The crowd?
Yeah.
Some do. The people that have known us from the beginning know that I started it. We try to keep that separate.
Why?
I just always was like, I want to be a talent on the show and not known as the guy running it, because obviously if it comes around the corner where it's like, hey, it's kind of your time, we need to put you over, you just kind of run into that, he's putting himself over because he's the booker or the promoter. So I've always avoided that.
If I was in here and you just said, Vince, you got carte blanche, write the story, you running this place is a big part of the story. And when I look at you and this heel group, throwing their weight around, trying to take control, this, that, and the other thing, and you're the baby face that kind of owns it, and now these guys are starting to get out of hand, bro, you're setting yourself up in a beautiful baby face position. I think your character is there, but bro, I could tell, you're in a position, I don't want to put myself over. I get that 100%. The beautiful thing is now it wasn't your idea, it was mine. So you don't have to worry about that. You said some of the fans that come to watch the show, they know about you. Do they know you two guys have a relationship and doing this together?
Most of them don't. No, most of them don't have any clue that he's my right hand man.
Now you got you for the first time saying, wait a minute, this is my school. This is my company. I hired you guys. The only one that's going to have power here is me, that type of a thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, now that could put you with Sammy. Now he's got a little bit of help. That could, turn them against you. And then out of that, the story of you guys being partner could come out. Then all you have to do is cut that one promo where you call him out, you know what I'm saying? And you tell that backstory. With your heart and soul, you built this place, man. Like, this is you. Like, this goes down, people have other jobs. You don't. This is you. And that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, really telling that story from the heart and the passion. You can't replace that with a story. Now, along the same lines of the story, you're going to talk about what Mercury Academy means to you and why you started it and what it stands for and the principle. What I'm trying to say is I think you could take real life where you are and tie that into what you want to do at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Like when I look at your show, like the first thing that I look at is like, okay, what is the foundation of the show? Like what is the real strong area of this show to literally build on? Okay. Well, you just said, Sammy's going to be the babyface champion, so that would be a priority. Obviously, Mario is there.
I think that Mario has hit a little bit of a wall. We got to figure out a way to make that character run some mileage. Because at this point, he cuts the same promo, he's doing all that stuff, and it's working right now. But, you put him into a title picture, and that becomes a whole different animal, I think.
If you kind of know Mario's the next guy, now you kind of start telling his story on the B level. Now you give him a story. Now you give him an opponent, something he could, sink his teeth into. Now you start building that underneath while you have your main story going. So as soon as that main story ends, however it ends, he's going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that's, you always got your story, but you always know what's next because that's what's kind of brewing underneath.
So I was thinking we should start with Mario. We'll just pull Mario in. Vince can talk to Mario for a bit.
What's up, Mario?
What's going on?
How you doing? Good, how are you? So you're kind of addicted to sugar as a kid?
Yeah. And then I think in 2012 I started saying like sugar is a drug, sugar is a drug. So I made a t-shirt that said pie, good for the soul, but bad for the body.
Right.
And Dwayne used to look at me like he used to use the pie thing for his thing.
Yeah.
He was laughing at the t-shirt. I use wrestling as the platform to tell people like, like sugar in the processed food, it starts with the with the children. Like they're getting more sick, more syndromes and everything, you know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Diabetes. It's not just being fat, you know.
Yeah.
You can be skinny and you can still get sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the sugar, and it's a problem today, you know.
So, bro, when you're doing this, like, this is 100% the real deal to you.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm just emphasizing maybe the Arnold.
Yeah, of course. And when you're talking the talk, you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I read like 100 books.
Yeah.
I went to seminars in California about stuff, you know, business and.
Yeah. So, bro, when you're doing the sugar-free gimmick, because you know, basically, the shape that you're in and the way you look, and you're telling people, you know, more or less, you're not as good as me, you're not sugar-free, you eat crap, this, that.
Yeah.
Basically, you're a heel now, correct?
Yeah. It's the sugar-free movement, and we're at war against processed food and sugar, and trying to educate the people.
So you do cut the promo on the people?
Yeah, like sometimes I say, sugar causes diabetes, just like that guy over there. Heart attack, he looks like about to have a heart attack.
Heart attack waiting to happen and all stuff like that.
Obesity, look at that fat boy there.
Yeah.
For the finisher, I use the razor's edge, which I call it the insulin spike.
That's good.
My name is Mario Ranger. I am sugar-free, and I am your savior. That's the tagline.
Bro, I'll just give you, like, off the top of my head what I would do with him if it were me. Obviously, he can be a huge babyface. I mean, just that there's so many likable things about him. But if he were a strong heel first, then you could really be a huge babyface when the time is right. So he's in a tough position now because with his promos and everything, he's probably the most entertaining thing on the show. He's going to go out there, he's going to get over his babyface. And you don't want that. Right. You don't want that. So if I was booking you right now, I would do a couple things, bro. I would, first of all, I would really have him dog the crowd. You know, really cut the promos on the crowd, and you're doing a little bit of that, okay? Bro, me personally, I would almost have, like, squash matches where he just destroys somebody. Then, bro, you know what'd be really cool? You know, there's raw vegetables, there's raw chicken breasts, you know, whatever, and when he beats raw fish, when he beats the opponent quickly, he just starts shoving this stuff down there.
That's real food for you over there.
Exactly, and shove it. I mean, yeah, bro, because this is the battle with him. He can be over you just a babyface, so it's an uphill battle to make him a heel. Right. So you're going to have to really, really, really make him a strong heel. But if you do stuff like that, keep it short, keep it visual, run the people down, then can you imagine just having a whole raw fish and jamming it down somebody?
Like, eat that fat boy so you can live longer.
Yeah. I'm doing you a favor. You'll be thanking me later. You know, just that. But, like, it should be short, bro. The matches should be short. But the stronger and stronger and stronger a heel that you could be made, the place will blow when you finally do that babyface turn. Mario, thanks a lot, bro.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Anaya was one of the first students at Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy. Anaya is like the guy that we go to when, you know, Matt and I are scrambling and we need somebody to help us train. Like, he's been far and away our best student.
How would you describe your character to me? Like, if I never saw this show ever, and I said, tell me about your character, what would you tell me?
That's probably like where I get stuck, is because like I'm still trying to find myself as a character still. Like I know we're brothers and like we're practically the same person, but I'm still he knows who he is. I'm still trying to find myself is what I think that cuts into the promo thing too, is like I don't know what.
He struggles a little bit with his promos, especially wrestling promos.
Why do you struggle? Why do you think that is?
The camera. I for some reason, like I can just like be myself otherwise, but when like I have a camera on me and I'm like trying to like.
It's just in my head.
It's just in my head. I know. I know. The last one, the one that's gonna be on this episode, was actually like my best promo to date, I think.
Yeah, solo promo for sure.
Yeah.
Bro, this is a true story. I'll never forget, like, being in a pre-tape room, like, with Sean Wallman. bro, he couldn't put 3 words together. And it was literally, no, bust it, do it again. I know you could do better, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. That's what it takes. I mean, as hard as you work in the ring, that's what it takes to develop your character. So, you know, bro, if wrestling comes more easy to you than a character, like, that's okay, because you're not an actor. You know, you're not. This is an acting school. You know, you're training to be a wrestler, but it's just the repetition, bro. It's just doing it over and over and over, and that's where I can really help you, because, bro, like, whether it's the USA Network or whether it's YouTube, like, I would never put on I would never put a pre-tape on that's subpar. I mean, if I think like that's just okay, screw that. And I'll sit there and I'll tell you, you can do it better. You can do it better. And you just keep doing it over and over and over. With the repetition, bro, you're going to get the confidence. The camera, you're not even going to know it's there after a while.
Like the last one, I actually cut the promo, like the first time, actually really good, and we just kept going through it to, like, make it better. So, like, I'm pretty sure it's
And I actually have
helping.
that promo if you want.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see it, bro.
NRW Nation, I'm here with your Charge champion, Anaya.
Two-time Charge champion. Just remember that for next time.
Sorry, 2-time NRW Charge champion, Anaya. Anaya, Mario Vanger was defeated last week by Danger Dean to be number 1 contender.
Is this the next show?
You guys are set to go one-on-one against each other at milestone 6. Tell me, what's going through your mind?
Let me answer that question in a question. Do you know who I beat for my debut match here on NRW?
I beat the longest reigning NRW champion in NRW history, Danger Dean, my first night here in NRW. And now, with a little experience in this here, gold on my shoulder, he thinks he can
Step in the ring again with me? I don't think he has any chance to defeat me ever again.
So you seem pretty confident going into milestone 6. No worries on that front.
Oh, that's right. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, we can work that a lot, because to me, like, just watching that, to me, you're overthinking it. You're thinking about what you're going to say next. That's why it's coming out slowly, because you're really thinking about, rather than just, okay, here's the situation, like, literally just shoot with it. You know, this guy walks in the door, all of a sudden he wants to take your title. It looks like you're trying to think of what you're going to say next, rather than just go with the emotion and roll with it. Because if you're thinking of what you're gonna say next, like, there are those pregnant pauses, and it sounds very like there's a beat to it. Ba 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 ba. It's like this, and there's really no emotion. And where you get emotion from, basically, bro, is just putting yourself in the moment, in the scene. Like, you know, Cole, like you said, bro, he just showed up on the scene and he thinks he could beat me, thinks he could challenge me. I mean, you got to really be the character in the moment and show the emotion of how, you know, who the frick is this punk? Like, what he's ever done, what he's ever accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when you're thinking of what you're going to say next, it's going to come across as, like, very robotic. And also, when you're thinking about what you're going to say, you're going to wind up saying a lot of things that are very cliche. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. You know, I mean, stuff like that over and over. So it's really just a matter of, bro, just putting yourself, like, in the scene, in the moment, what actually happened. Nice meeting you, bro. I appreciate it. Good luck, bud. Good luck. Yep.
I first got interested in wrestling because my boyfriend Anaya. And,
oh, that's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we started at the same time. I lasted about a week, and then I found out I was pregnant. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm back in it.
So have you guys had matches?
Yes.
Primarily with each other?
Yes, that's it.
So give me a little bit now about your character. What is your character?
So I'm really scrappy. I'm just really, Nikita said that she would say I'm pretty vicious. So I'm just really intense.
What's your character?
Allegato.
Allegato.
So I'm really catty and just really vicious.
Yeah. And what's yours?
I used to play the goth girl, but I kind of wanted to step more into, like, a more feminine side of it. So I'm like this kind of.
Why is that? Why is that?
Why did I do the goth thing?
No, why did you want to step into more feminine from that?
Because I just, I guess it's just a confidence issue that I had. I wanted to be like a part of everybody else, and I just didn't want to look too different. I wanted to look different, but I didn't want to look too like hardcore different. And I realized it really wasn't my thing, so I stuck. Like I want to do like kind of a retro-ish kind of girl, like with piercings and like the bright colors, but like still like kind of different from the other girls. But I want to stay different, but I still want to like not be like all this black makeup and like, you know what I mean?
So what's your character's name then?
Angel Trinity.
So who are you? I mean, what do you? What comes natural?
Like as a like style?
No, just who
myself.
you are. What's unique about you? What's different about you? What are some of your likes?
I like music, and I like art and tattoos. And, I dig the tattoos and stuff.
You got a lot of tattoos?
I do not.
Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all tatted up.
Yeah.
I like my Colorado tattoo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
So you
I'm
kind
just
of
a colorful person. Like I like a lot of different stuff. I like a lot of the like the art downtown. Like you see like spray painted on the wall. Like I can really get into that, and I like to take pictures of stuff like that. I'm really into like just homemade art, I guess you could say, because my dad's an artist and he makes puppets for a living.
Is it so? What do you mean by homemade? Like street?
Just like
art
stuff,
almost?
yeah, like just stuff you find on the streets, like just finding beauty in everything.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So So you played sports.
Mm-hmm.
You played softball. You said, and
Tennis. I've just always been athletic. Yeah, it's just.
see now, I'm just curious. How did you seem like so sweet to me?
Yeah, no, that's what everyone says. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet.
So how did
it
you?
just comes natural, but like
Don't be
being
fooled,
really
Viz.
catty.
Don't be fooled.
So I had a really hard time
Well, see-
coming up with a character.
Okay, but you're so sweet. So how do we arrive at that character?
I don't know. It just comes like really natural. Just to be bitchy and catty, like.
So when you guys worked together, though, even with your character, you were the baby face, but you had kind of like the goth character.
In a way, yeah. I got new gear and everything.
But you never really felt comfortable with that.
Not with the old one. Well, I did in a way, but I just nothing really clicked with me with it, and then I just wanted to change it up a little bit to make it a little more feminine than what it was, because I was just, you know. I really
Why don't you? I mean, everything I'm hearing about you is, you know, artist.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
and you
definitely.
like art and you
Yeah.
appreciate it. Like, why isn't that worked into the gimmick? If that's what you're comfortable with, you know what I mean? I think we need a little bit more work with your character, because I think you kind of don't know where it is.
Yeah.
And that's not good. That's not good, because the most important thing is you got to feel comfortable.
Right.
You got to believe it. Like when you describe your character to me, you feel that. I mean, I could tell you feel it, but I could tell you don't know what it is yet, and that's okay. I mean, that's fine. We got plenty of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Ali Gatto. I want to discuss a few things with you. Ali. I just wanted to get your take on the NRW Lockettes division. You've burst onto the scene. You've become one of the most well-known Lockettes that we have here in NRW, and you've done it very, very quickly. What do you attribute to your success in dealing with these other Lockettes?
So let me just stop you right there. Sorry. All right, sorry, this isn't working.
It honestly makes me sick, to be honest, because I've held this for a year now. No one's been able to beat me. But you know what? There's 10 girls out there wanting an opportunity at this. And I'm not going to let Titus get away with this. So where no other girls will have the chance to hold this. I don't want to be the only one to hold this. I want to prove to Titus that he's not taking this away from us.
We all fall into the trap of cutting the wrestler promo. And here's the thing, nobody talks like wrestlers. And that's why a lot of casual fans have, and I said this before, have turned away from wrestling because they can no longer relate to it because nobody talks like wrestlers. When you put yourself in the moment of really, you know, okay, this is what's going on right now. You know, how does my character really feel about this? What does my character really think about this? You really have to look at, you know, where you are in the story. And as a human being, what am I really feeling? What am I going through? Because that is how you relate to people. You see what I'm saying? If the people can't relate to your character or what you're saying, there's no connection there. And again, it's just happening so much today in wrestling where if you really, next time, do you guys watch Raw?
Yes. Yeah.
Watch Raw next week. Honestly, and look at it from this perspective. Who really talks that way? Like, who really talks that way? Wrestlers talk that way. Nobody else does. I mean, when you see a football player interviewed after a game or a basketball, they talk like people. They talk like people would talk. Wrestlers, all of a sudden, I call it the wrestling bubble. We're all in the wrestling bubble. We all say the same thing, and you've got to break out of that. And what makes you break out of that is raw emotion. Okay. If my character was put in this position, how would I act? What would I say? I would say this to all the wrestlers, every wrestler I ever worked with, okay? When you cut a promo, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because what's happening is, here's what's going on. In your mind, you're thinking of what you're going to say next. And with that comes cliches. It becomes a very canned promo. It becomes a promo like we've heard before. That's why you're saying it, because you heard it before. You're somebody else say it. And it comes across as ungenuine. So it's more important of the way you say it and what is your real emotion. All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look.
Appreciate your help.
Thank you very much. You're legit MMA?
Yeah, I did it for 10 years.
10 years, bro?
Yeah. But me and my roommate, we bought a pair of boxing gloves and started fighting each other in the kitchen, in the backyard, and lied our way into our first fight down in Oklahoma, and said we'd been training for months, and we hadn't, and went out there, didn't know what the hell we were doing, and I lost a split decision. 2 judges gave it to him, 1 judge gave it to me, and then came back the next month, knocked the guy out, and then from there, it's 38 fights later, 30-10 record.
Holy crap! Really, bro?
Yeah, fought everywhere except the UFC. Now it's mainly just I'll take a fight just to get a paycheck.
Did you lose the love of it, or?
Yeah, I got burned out pretty quick. Just all the politics and every manager that I would get promised me the world, right? And didn't give me anything, didn't get me anything, no sponsors, no nothing, or they would demand 30-40%.
Do you hear him telling me the story? You see what I'm saying? Literally, it's that you just cut the promo. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying? It really is. That's why I say, man, so much stuff is right before your eyes. Because look how unique his story is. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's. This is a trained MMA fighter who's now trying to become a professional wrestler. So you would have to assume that he's getting in the ring with guys that have been wrestling for years. Okay, bro, you want to show about a guy, whose temper builds up, this and that. Bro, what a great thing it would be if he's wrestling guys and bro, again, the announcers are very important here. The announcers have to tell the story. But if his background is MMA and you're wrestling guys, if they're professionals, they should be able to out-wrestle him. You see what I'm saying? When they begin to out-wrestle him, the anger kicks in. And now he starts resorting back to what he knows is MMA. So in other words, he may get the guy in a submission hold, the guy may grab the ropes and he might not let go. And the referee literally has to keep, but we keep seeing the MMA come out, the MMA come out, the MMA. And then, like, bro, it's something as simple as the wrestler has the big comeback. You know what I mean? And, bro, it's one shot to the face. Yeah. He knocks the guy out cold, and you get DQ'd.
Yeah. And we were talking about, along the Bailey lines, how she's happy and, the kids love her and just like someone good to look up to type of thing, which I would really enjoy that because I'm like a happy person and nice to people. So if I could just be myself a little more out there, that'd be awesome.
So I actually did a weird mad scientist. It was kind of like a rib, so it was very intense, very different. And you kind of get stuck with it, and you can't really get rid of it after a while. So I'd like to do something multidimensional that can be cocky, that can be funny, but can still be intense and still play the intense emotion. Fact is, I'm bigger than most of these girls.
Yeah.
I'm very fiery and I have a mouth. I want to project that, but I also want to project something that I've never actually been, which is the special I'm better than you type of thing, because I don't think I'm better than anybody, honestly. I like almost everybody I meet, and I'm just yeah, you're cool, you're chill, and I don't get fiery with them until they do something to disrespect me. Right. It's the whole Hispanic thing, I guess you would say.
Are you bilingual?
I know a little bit. And I'm starting to pick up a little bit more because I work with a lot of.
That's helpful. Well, as you guys find a character now, the most important thing is you have to find something you are comfortable with. I think the key is finding an extension of yourself, because again, as you're, it would be one thing if you're coming down here and you're training to be wrestlers, and you're spending the same amount of time going to acting school. Obviously, you're not doing that. So you're training to be a wrestler. Acting is a completely other profession. So what you want to do is you want to find an extension of yourself, and you want to magnify that 1,000,000 times over. So when you go out there, you're not acting because you believe it. Because that's the thing. If you try to become something you're not, and you don't believe it, you think the people watching you are going to believe it? So that's why you got to really dig deep down and see what your personality is and what's special about you. I told you guys when I talked to you, and just magnify that 1,000 times over.
I'm Dwayne Funderburg. It's kind of crazy seeing you in person because you're like God to the wrestling world. And I'm not saying that just to, I'm not trying to kiss your ass.
I'm old to the wrestling world.
I'm trying to kick somebody's ass. I'm not, but it's kind of crazy seeing you in person.
What's your character?
I have two of them. I wrestle as Bruce Rogers, and I wrestle as a superhero character, Revolution Ranger.
Tell me about those characters.
Basically, Bruce Rogers is the Clark Kent to Revolution Ranger Superman.
Okay.
So Bruce Rogers is an inconspicuous guy. He wears goggles to the ring instead of glasses.
Just ignore it. That's it. Oh.
And as Revolution Ranger, I don't wear a mask or anything. It's basically like the Superman effect. You take off the glasses, and all of a sudden he's a superhero.
So you wrestle as the superhero?
Yes.
So you never wrestle then as...
I do occasionally wrestle as Bruce Rogers.
Bruce Rogers.
He's just not as good as Revolution Ranger. He basically loses the glasses, loses the jacket, becomes a superhero, and wrestles a lot better.
That's interesting. Okay. Did you train to be a wrestler, or?
Yeah, and I had a couple matches, but there was some politics went on.
Politics in wrestling, bro? Are you serious? Come on.
And
First time for everything, right?
It just burnt me out seeing my gimmick go on TV when supposedly I was getting a contract with the E through Pat, and he gives my gimmick to the E, and same people I wanted and everything.
Got it. Do you guys have any basic questions as we, get into this together? No?
I don't necessarily have a question, but I did want to take a moment and say thank you very much, Mr. Russo. We all appreciate your help very much, and I'm looking forward to working with you, sir.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you guys, I need to thank you more than you need to thank me, and I mean that because I've been at the top level every place,
I don't want to be there. The whole reason I got into wrestling in the first place was the reason you guys did, because I loved it. And I never wanted to be a wrestler, but I always wanted to do something in wrestling because I loved it. I got to be honest with you, when I got to that level, the love was taken out of it for me. It really wasn't what I signed up for. You know, just the level of politics and backstabbing and money and greed and ego, it literally turned into a job. It was a job. And eventually, the money didn't mean anything anymore. And I was going home miserable every day, and that's not what I wanted in my life. And I chose to walk away at the end and walk away from a lot of money. So my point is, this right here is the environment that I long for. I mean, it really, really is. People that have a raw love for wrestling, you know, like I did when I first started, that want to listen, that want to learn, that are putting in the time. That's where I thrive. So I'm here by choice. I'm here because I want to be here. So I mean, I thank you guys for the opportunity, and I really, really mean that.
This is my daughter.
Hey, nice to meet you.
We
Nice
listened to the
meet you.
podcast in the car, and she
Oh,
kept saying,
boy.
when he comes in, I want to be there.
I hope I didn't say something I shouldn't have said when you listening.
So I told her tonight she wasn't going to come to training. So Vince is coming tonight, so she jumped off the couch and was like, oh, well, I'm going there. So now you've met him.
Did you have your first match yet? Couple weeks?
July 30th, you'll be doing something. So
She was so much like you, man.
you hear that? You look like me.
Well, it was real nice meeting you. Now I got to be careful what I say on the show because I'm going to picture you listening.